Hello guys, here is session 42 of Level Up with Bastien Lecouffe-Deharme. Hey man.
Hey.
We are here with Jonas De Ro and me, Darek Zabrocki. We are still waiting for Wojtek, so maybe he will join us. And let me share my screen so I can show you some works of Bastien. They are pretty amazing. There's all of the stuff looks very painterly, but it's very polished, and it has a lot of hidden history on it. So a lot of beautiful girls, very mixed techniques. It's all good, and yeah, we are very happy to have you on board with us, man.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, maybe I will give you a voice, and in the meantime, I will show to people some of your works.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay, do I have to do anything special? Sharing my screen? Does it work?
Yeah, I can just share your screen right now.
Oh, okay.
The screen is on yours right now.
Okay. But yeah, I could see a perpetual window with like my picture in my picture in my picture. So, well, hello guys. So first of all, I'm really happy to be here and to be invited on Level Up. So, I was a bit nervous with that at first because I'm not. I guess I'm not the usual profile of all the awesome artwork that I see on this group. Speed painters and concept artists who are able to do some really awesome stuff in 2 or 3 hours. So I was a little bit hesitant, I guess, at first when I got invited. Because as I said yesterday somewhere online, it usually takes me a week to work on a picture, something like that. So I guess I have to give you an idea of how I work first of all. If I need to, yeah. Is it still working? Because I have like the window in front of me that is changing.
Yeah, it's working, man. Of course it's working.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the way I work and I guess why I do that before I start to paint and make a few demonstrations. The reason why I paint, I think, comes from a need to tell stories. So I have these memories. I was explaining that in an interview recently. The fact that when I was a kid, every time I was opening a book, I could not read the text, but I could see the picture. So I really remember reading the picture before I started reading words. And what I was doing when I liked the picture, I used to take a big pen and I used to scribble all over the place. And I think in my mind I was I don't know, I was learning or I was trying to be part of this drawing, I guess. Every time it was awesome, I had to paint on it. So that's how it started, and then drawings, pure drawings. Really, today my techniques are based on use of digital paintings and a lot of photographs, a lot of I discovered not so long ago that you use the word photo bashing, but I remember 5 years ago when I was using photographs, and I had some people saying that this perpetual relationship with photograph, like I'm cheating and stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember, like 6 or 7 years ago, it was really difficult to deal with that. And but originally, I'm a drawer. That's really what I do, and I started by drawing. Like it started with. It was not Dungeon and Dragon. It was another role-playing game. We were playing with my friends when we were kids, like playing later than what we should, like staying awake until 4 in the morning. And I was drawing everything. Like I was drawing the castles, the characters. I was drawing everything, and that's what I did. And then I grew up. I kept drawing and drawing all the time. And the funny thing is that I have some friends messaging me now saying, "Hey, know that you have your work published on Magic Cards. I am going to open my files with Dungeon and Dragon characters that you did draw for me, you know." So I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of archives coming out very soon with drawings that I did like 20 years ago, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then I decided to do art studies, like Master of Fine Art, and the funny thing with that is I did only abstract paintings and photography, so no drawings at all. The studies I made, the place where I went, illustration was the thing to avoid absolutely. So basically, I could hear a lot about all those conceptual artists and not concept artists, conceptual artists, and all those big dinosaurs of art history. And I did learn a lot, and I really loved that. But it was absolutely not related to illustration, and so really illustration was completely despised. It was something for gamers and science fiction readers and fantasy readers, all this kind of bullshit. So that's really like I did 5 years or 6 years because I screwed up the first year just by having other activities than going to class, I guess. And so after all those years, I had my Master of Fine Art and no job, of course. And I watched Blade Runner again. I think that's the way it happened. And so I was working I was selling some tobacco and some magazines in a little store in a little city in France, and I didn't know what to do. Like I was working 16 hours a week, just enough to pay the rent, and I was bored, and I watched Blade Runner again, and I made a picture after that, and that's just by this picture. Basically, I was back to illustration, and I think I started with a new eye because behind me I had like 5 years of abstract paintings and photography. So I started to illustrate, but I was, hey, I'm not going to start illustration just by taking my pencil and start to draw a role-playing game character again. I wanted to use all the knowledge that I got from those studies as well, and I was okay. I'm going to mix painting and textures, drawing, and photograph. All those things that I knew, and writing a little bit too. And so from that, there was only one way to do that. It was to use a computer. So I could scan, import. I could do everything I wanted with a computer. It was the big box where I could throw everything in it, and I could check the computer, and it was going to paint for me. So, so I bought a graphic tablet, and I did all that, and then yeah.
So you touched a lot of the stuff in your life to make the consistent pictures, like using the photos, using the your abstract knowledge and all this stuff to create the today's pictures, right?
Yeah. My attitude for that was really to the only thing that mattered to me was to be able to create the pictures that I had in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so for that, I was going to use everything I knew, and also it was a way, because I mean, let's be honest with that. It was also a way to help me dealing with what I did not know how to do. And that's something that I really do not deny or even try to hide. There was many things at this time that I was not able to do. Like I remember making this picture of a beautiful bridge and a train on it and everything. My perspective skills were not perfect, and the only way I could achieve this bridge was to use a photograph and not actually paint it, but just import a photograph and start with that. But that was a long time ago. And so this way, by using all those techniques, I was able to, okay, I will draw what I can draw, I will use a photograph for what I cannot do, because I don't want to be stopped. I want to be able to make this picture, and I will do whatever it takes to make it. And the thing is, that's something that today I say to my students a lot is, using photographs is completely fine, as long as it does not limitate you, and that is a big deal. I'm sure you guys have been talking about that over and over, but
yeah.
And
so as long as you are aware of it, it's all right, and you can just enrich something with it, not based on wholly on the photo, right? You mean it?
I did not hear what you asked.
I told that you mean that using photos as something that can help you to just achieve some effect, not to base on quietly,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the big deal, is that I remember at the beginning of my career I was doing that too much, and so I started to fight that. And so I was, okay, so now I'm doing a great picture, but I use a photograph. So I need to find my way to be able to do this picture without the photograph. The photograph can help me go faster, but I did not want to become, dependent of the photograph I'm working with.
Yeah, of course.
And that's where I started to actually work really seriously on my digital painting skills. And I was, a lot of people ask me about that, like, yes, but how old were you and everything? And I was, I was old already. I mean, old. I was, I was past 25 when I did my first digital painting. So, I'm saying that because sometimes I have some kids coming to me and they are 22 and they ask me if it's too late. And no, I mean, I did not really, like, I did not do my first digital painting before I was 25. So, but I guess I already had a lot of fundamentals and a lot of, I always practiced anatomy and all those stuff. So, yeah.
It's never too late, right?
Hmm?
It's never too late for that.
No, it's never too late. And what I feel, so yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about as well, is that I really have the feeling, because I have like some people on my Facebook official page asking me questions all the time, and I always get some emails from people, all age, asking me, I have the feeling that they ask me for a formula.
Yeah.
They ask me like, hey, how do I do that? And you must be nice, because you have to be nice. I'm not always nice. I'm actually, I can be pretty shitty with those stuff, because I get irritated by all the questions, and then you answer and you don't get a thank you. It's just, it happens a lot. But when I want to be nice, when I'm in a good mood, the only right answer you can give is just practice, of course. But if I go back to my own memory, I have the feeling that I had some kind of déclic, I had some kind of, that will sound strange, but I had some kind of waking up one morning and it worked. Like, it did not work before. And one day I woke up one morning, or one night actually, and just start the computer and start to make a picture, and suddenly I understood. Like, I made something that I was comfortable with, suddenly it was working. And then from that, because I had this first hint of this is working, then I could build from that,
Like you need some sort of a prize at the beginning to see that at least you are able to proceed, like a small achievement at the beginning of the road. Yeah.
It's like, you know, you are lost in the ocean. Like it's night, you are swimming and you don't know where you go. And I know a lot of people are still in the, you know, in the water trying to. They are in the dark. They don't know. They don't know where to go. And suddenly, while swimming, suddenly your hand reaches something, and you know you can grab on that. And you are going to build from that. You are going to escape from that, or you know, start to climb the ladder or whatever. The first thing that gave me that's how it worked. It gave me some kind of a base, a stone that is like, okay, that's it. This is established. And I guess it was just, you know, my painting flow with the graphic tablet. Suddenly it became okay, and I started to adjust the colors on the side, and I realized quickly that, oh, okay, so if I can do that, then I know how to do that, and then I know how to do that, and it just worked.
Yeah, don't try to do everything at once, right? Starting from one thing and then branching over. For example, like Bastien, I started from characters first, portraits basically, and then I branched out to doing like whole characters. Then I branched out to a little bit of environment, and it's like, you know, you have to take small steps. And I would say maybe this is really great advice from Bastien. I think, you know, just to focus on one thing at the first. Of course, it's great to be the jack of all trades in the concept art industry, of course, but it takes time.
Yeah. So the thing is, for what I did, for example, at first, one of the things that made me that kept me motivated is that at the same time I was writing a lot. So I wrote. It took me 6 years, but I wrote my first graphic novel, and it was because I was developing my own universe. Something in between the 50s and the 80s, with a big city, with a wall around, and robots, and I'm working on the English translation, so one day it will come out. But the thing is, I had this universe, so I never had a lack of inspiration. Every time I was turning on my computer to work, I was, hey, I'm going to make a portrait of this character, or hey, I'm going to like paint this neighborhood, or I'm going to work on, you know, that and that. And I was always full of stories to tell, I guess. Plus, it was working really well with the way I worked, because I was trying to create this universe that was part of our universe. So taking photographs of our world and using it to make pictures of a science fiction but almost realistic place. Suddenly it made sense. I was kind of, you know, taking some objects and perverting them into something else. Yeah, that was some kind of really fun process. And but yeah, the thing is, I always focused on what I loved to do. And at first, the two things I was painting all the time were female characters, no need to say, and dark cities and massive buildings. And so I even remember an interview back in time where I was joking about myself. So basically, I'm doing like beautiful women and massive buildings. So it was like completely sexual, and you know. And I mean, I'm fine with that. You know, I have no issue talking about. That's another big topic, like the sex in illustration. I have no issue like painting breast. I have no issue as long as, you know, I'm not a big machist douchebag or anything like that. Yes, my work is definitely sexualized, but it's not, you know, pervert or misogynist or anything like that.
Yeah, of course.
It's poetic, and you know, in its look at one's body. That's what I feel when I look at.
Thank you.
It's very expressive, and it's very dark at the same time. But I like that kind of a compilation of dark and expressive. You know, definitely doesn't cross any border when I look at it at all. It's very delicate. So I don't know, maybe somebody has different experience with that, but I really love your work. So
Yeah, well,
it's really unique at the same time. You've been talking about your sources of inspiration, like the amount of different paths you tried, like photography, abstract art, and it really shows in your work, and it really makes it unique. You know, for example, I remember seeing your work on CG Hub back in the days. And I haven't seen anything like this before. And I think it was the Legends of Cryptids, the card you did. I don't remember which one, but I remember that was the Legends of Cryptids. And I haven't seen anything like it. And I thought, this is European. This feels like fine art. I was like, yeah, there's something. Yeah, and this guy's French. There you go. Yeah, exactly. There's something that tells you that it's something more than just digital art. And you are not really from a concept art-oriented world. You know, you're a little bit from more artsy, background, like photography, abstract art, like you said.
I'm glad you appreciate that. You know, that was like this aspect of my work. It's like a blade, a double-edged blade, because on one side it is something that it's me. That's how I work, and that's it. But at the same time, I mean, I had to fight. Today, I'm completely fine with that. Today, when I have some people messaging me saying, "Hey, you use photograph or blah blah blah," it's hilarious to me. But for a long time, when I was just when I was just starting, and when I had all those like bad criticism on the way I was working, I had that a lot. I just decided to never give up because I'm quite stubborn, and I like I love what I love doing it. So
and
you just for the longest time it was quite difficult to I had both. I had like massive critics or massive enjoyments, but it was never. Yeah.
That's a proof that your art actually causes response, right? Doesn't matter.
Well, and that's good because you stuck to it, and it's easy to every of us that we are going to online gallery or so, and we just can see it's your work. It's no one else. It's just yours, and it's really cool that you didn't stop and you just keep going on that way that you really thought is something that is associated with your soul, with your heart, and that's cool. So.
And today it pays. That's the thing also. It's like today it pays because for the longest time I thought I was going to be this guy in my own little submarine, doing my stuff my own way. But honestly, I was really surprised when I started to see clients coming. When I started to actually get some work with that. And I mean, today I work with really, really big companies, and it's awesome. It's just really awesome to realize that yes, my work has been accepted by the clients that I always wanted to work with, and my work is accepted for what it is, and not for something that I modified because I was afraid that some people will not like it or blah blah blah. My work is what it is, and it works this way. So I think that's really the first advice. That's one of the big things I learned from that, and one of the first advice I give to a lot of students when I teach in class is to tell them to stick with what is special to them, because you see so many. I mean, it's so attractive for even kids today to think, okay, I want to be painting all day, I want to design video games, I want to make illustrations, I want to do book covers, and it's so attractive. It looks like the dream job, and it's not. But it is so attractive, and so you see so many people trying to emulate or recreate pictures with the styles that everybody has, and it's such a danger because.
Maybe let me change the subject a little bit. Can you tell us about your school and your teaching class? what you are teaching, what are the lessons structured are, and just basically where do you teach, and can you just tell us a little bit more about it?
So really shortly, the reason why I moved to the US, for example, was not professional reason. I moved to the US because I joined the woman who was going to become my wife. So I mean, that's a love story, and I joined her. And we had, we had the chance. We had to choose between me moving to the US in southern Ohio, which really, when you are from Europe, you just don't know what it is, and it was like the big adventure. Or her coming to Paris, exciting, and finally she was a student. She needed to finish her studies. I was a freelance artist, so it was easy for me to move. And I could work from anywhere, so that's how we did it. And I moved to southern Ohio, where I was actually really curious. And today I live in a really little town, but this little town has the chance to have a university that is in the top 5 or top 7 of the best video game undergrad programs for video games and gaming and stuff. So, and I had no clue about that, but when I arrived, I did show up at the university. I met with the chair of the department, who became a really good friend of mine today. But as soon as he saw my work, he was like, hey, like, we were waiting for like a good digital painter. Can you teach digital painting? And so that's how it worked. So now I teach digital painting and advanced digital painting. I have like those 2 classes that I'm working with and with new students every semester, and I'm getting really happy because I know today there is like a few students in my classes. I know you will see some of their work soon enough, right? Because it's good. So yes, a little structure, but exactly what I wanted. And teaching is a great experience, I think, for an artist, because, for example, going into teaching on the side, you see, today, I mean, I don't teach for the money. For example, I don't need that because my freelance work and my agency provide actually too much work, more than I can handle, so I have to select what I do. But I keep teaching because it's that's where I learn the more, because I keep questioning what I do. It's like, okay, if I have to explain something to those people, to those students, if I have to explain them something, I have to go back and really get a new look on what I am doing myself, and I keep evolving this way. Like, I never progressed in my artwork as much since I'm teaching. Yeah.
So how big are your classes? Like, how many students do you have?
16 students max. We are working on like the brand new iMacs and graphic tablets and everything provided by the school, of course. And yeah, so 16 students is it means that I can focus on every one of them.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
all right.
Perfect.
So, Bastien, are you ready to maybe jump into some demo painting, or?
Definitely. Yeah, whenever.
Right. So
one more thing, people can ask questions. If you feel like asking us a question, go ahead, type it into the chat with a big word question before, so we can pick it up.
Yeah.
I think there's one. Maybe I will just ask it. I think it's kind of important, maybe a little bit technical, but right. So it's a question from Ponder. Bastien, how did you get to live in the USA? That's what we know already. As a freelancer, who gave you your visa, and like the technicalities behind that? How? Yeah.
Okay, so well, this is kind of a personal question, but
okay.
in fact, it's not easy at all to move to the US. The only reason why I moved to the US, as I said, is because there was a love story. Okay, so I was going to join this girl. If she was living in Africa or Canada or China, I would have joined her wherever she was.
There you go.
So it was the US, but the thing is, it means that I had to go through the immigration process, and it cost me a shit ton of money, and it cost a lot, not cost, but a lot of time and paperwork. And me and my wife had to battle with that for a year or two. And this is a fiancé visa, so
I understand.
it's a nightmare. Moving to the US is, I guess, it's one of the more complicated parts of the world to move in.
Yeah, it's a pretty closed country to immigrants. Yeah, that's true. All right, thank you for answering. Let's move to the demo.
Okay. Well,
let's try it. And sorry for being late. I was stuck at the metro. Jonas, you there?
Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened with that is, as I was explaining really at the beginning, is that it takes me to create a picture. It takes me something like in between 3 days and 2 weeks. Most of the time, I spend a week on a picture. So there is no way we are going to make a full week of level up 10 hours a day. So I decided. So I was in front of. I was facing an issue. I was okay. So what am I going to show them? And I thought at first. Let's skip the anatomy painting part, because painting a figure is something that we all do. We do that when we practice, or you can watch tutorials online, or you can, it's just a matter of practice. And I think what is interesting for me to show is what is really specific to my own artwork.
Yeah.
So I decided to get the figure out of the way, but I kept all my layers so you can see what I did first. So basically, my idea was to do that first. It took me 4 hours because I'm slow and because I listen to music and all those stuff. So let's start with that. So this is based. Basically, I have a photo studio at home where I work with my own models. I also have I always work from references, always, because it's cool. I could paint characters quickly and stuff, and I do sometime in my pictures. But when my pictures are really based on specific characters with personality and everything, and to achieve that, I need references. So all my references come from photo shoots that I do, or photo shoots. I will work with a model in France, and since I moved, for example, but we still want to work together, so I will do some sketches, send it to the model, and she will send me references, and we have this good network. I work with some specific people that I trust. And so this is the portrait of a friend. And I just started to work a little bit like that. So first of all, and I'm just going to make like a quick demo on details. And when I paint a figure, I always try to find important elements that I was talking about grabbing the first element and building from that. But that's the same with every picture. And I always see, if you switch to that, for example, we have this angle right here that I really wanted to start with.
Mm-hmm.
as a first step. And then I started to build, and usually I don't worry that much about color, because I know I will be able to modify all the colors later anyway, and that's one of the cool parts with Photoshop. What you can see here is my extended set of brushes, meaning that there is many brushes that I made myself and many brushes that I took from other sets. I mean, that's how it works in this community anyway, and we all, I don't think anybody is having issues with brush sharings and everything. One of my favorite brush to paint is that one. Okay, about brushes, I have my brush set online, and I'm going, after this session, I am going to upload another brush set that I created for Adobe. It's not online yet, but I will make it available for everybody right after the session. Okay, so I guess I will send you the link, guys. And
That's great.
So you are
Yes,
attached to create a very accurate brushes as you are imitating like the painter, like painter feeling you want to
No.
achieve.
Actually, to paint, what I need is this kind of charcoal brush. Here is one that I created yesterday and that I love to work with. That's what I need. Okay, I cannot stand having to change, you know, opacity and flow, so I need brushes that I can, like, just with the pressure. And okay, I mean, brushes, we can talk about brushes forever. It's like, you know, it's like the little toys that we work with. I have a lot of brushes that are based. Okay, you see there is one illustration that I made a long time ago. It's the book cover for my first graphic novel, and that's that.
All right.
Okay, and so usually I build my brushes with some shapes that you can easily recognize. And so, anyway, so you will see in the set that I will put online, there is a lot of brushes that are, okay, here they are. They are based on my charcoal stuff. Not that one.
Just painting with the face.
Yep, I do that actually. See that? So this brush
Bam, art.
react like that, and for example, this one, same thing, portrait of a friend of mine, and this brush react. It's a charcoal brush. Okay. I mean, that's just me having my own fun with that. So
Yeah, so basically you're saying it doesn't matter what you use. You can use anything.
I'm saying I need just a little bit of texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, here is the perfect brush to me. Those are perfect. Okay, so to work on this figure, for example, what I do is that I will use this kind of brush, because I like the straight lines on the side, and then I will switch to something a little bit smoother like that. And then, if I need to make it even smoother, I will go to some kind of round, completely smooth stuff like that. So, and then, I mean, it's just about building it, and as I said, there is no specific formula with that. Okay, I work, I have the feeling, basically, I have the feeling right now that I'm explaining things that I've been explained over and over and over. See, like, I keep, okay, here is my shadow, I'm going to put more shadow, for example, and I just, you know, I drop and paint like that. And adjust, and so I have my finger all the time on the Option key, so I can use the eyedropper really quick and build. Start to put like.
So now you are starting out with very subtle values, just to later on put some contrast, right? and develop the values range.
See, that's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just pushing the values with a little bit of colors already. Because basically, and this is, I think this is important, when you, if I work only, I don't work black and white. I know, especially in the concept art world, it's way easier to start in black and white and color after. I mean, that's something that it's one technique. I always start with a little bit of colors because I think the big deal is if I paint in black and white, let's say that the picture is black and white, then if I want to use my adjustment and change the color and the hue, it does not change anything because the picture is in black and white. But if the picture is in color, suddenly I can interact with the colors. So that's why I never start really black and white, but I always start with some colors involved, trying to make it as right as possible, but it's not a big deal yet because I will modify it. And you see, that's what I do on this next step, is that I start to use the color balance, and I start to adjust the colors I want. I'm purposely doing it stronger than what I should, but it's for everybody to get an idea of how it works a little bit. So you see, I did that, but like that.
So it depends all the shadows, depends all the colors.
Pushing the contrast a little bit, and you see I work a lot, like the next step right here, I will start putting some spots of light again and build from that, but this is the way I will paint on canvas, basically.
Yeah.
And keep...
So you are pasting the highlights and then just mix and blend into the skin areas.
And you see that's something else that I do. I like... A perfect painting is boring to me. That's also something I keep repeating to my students. A perfect painting is boring because there will be no... I'm excited when I see accidents. I'm excited when I see nice mistakes. I'm excited when, you know. And so I see what you see right here. It is me creating accidents again. So what I will do when I do that is that I will completely do stuff like that. Things that you use a lot in concept art, but I use it for my render. And so I start to purposely destroy a little bit what I'm doing and see what comes from here. Because that's something that I love with fine art and with drawing, and when I do my, you know, some charcoal drawing or all this kind of stuff, when I do like sorry, slowing down. I was trying to go to the drawing. See, when I practice like drawing on actual paper, that's what is inspiring to me. It's the mistakes, the accidents, the things that actually do not go. Come on. Okay. Here's the cat. All those mistakes everywhere. That's what create life into a drawing or a painting or something like that. So with digital, it's so easy to, you know, erase, undo, and keep everything clean. I try to stay away from that, and I try to purposely make mistakes. As long as they are right mistakes, I guess.
Yeah, that was actually my question. I mean, you have to know what kind of mistakes to make, because some mistakes are pleasant to look at and others aren't.
Yeah, I mean, and I will choose, and that's the reason why. When you see that, those lines, they are nice, they work. But if I start to do, you know, make some random stuff and start to do that, does that work? Am I going to keep that? No, I don't like the idea of one middle groove in right here, and so
I think it looks pretty cool.
yeah, it's like Total Recall like.
Yeah.
But if I start to do that, why not? Why not keeping that? I don't know. It's just I did not, or I could, or whatever. But it's just a matter of taste after. And I also keep saying that painting or working on a picture is just an accumulation of choices that you make. Okay, I choose to do that, and then I choose to keep it or not, and then I choose the next step, and it's just a matter of making the right choices, I guess. And that is really interesting, I think, because when you start to focus on considering that you are just making some choices, then it means that it's also related to your own taste. Like, do I like that? Do I not like that? And then if the tastes are involved, it just leads you directly to what makes your personality, your style. What do I like? What do I not like? What am I going to paint? Do I like it that way, or would I prefer it another way?
When you are making a photo shot section in your studio, do you have previously prepared some sketches? How do you build your lighting into the scene, and then trying to set it on in your studio, or you are doing it on air, or how it's?
No,
how
I'm sketching first
Mm-hmm.
because I need to. Even it helps me making like some nice, giving some example to the models. Like, yeah, here is what we are going to try to obtain. Here is the pose I want. And sometimes they are like actual good drawings. And sometimes they are pretty shitty. Sometimes it's stick figures. I'm not going to draw another stick figure because I'm going to ruin my reputation with that. Yeah.
There you go.
No, I said I was not going to.
I love how you always draw me exactly the same.
And so yeah, from and sometimes that's the thing. Sometimes I also take photos and completely improvise, and it just works. Sometimes it even works better than my sketches, So it completely depends. I'm quite open. I like to be surprised even in my own process, So here she is with her new haircut. And same thing, am I going to keep this haircut or not? No, I don't think so. But it was just a matter of showing a little bit the flow that I use. So I'm still working on her, defining more details, more and more. And I think here we are. We have like something that is getting interesting and strong enough to start building with that. No, is that going to be my illustration? No, this is a study. Mm-hmm. And so, but the thing is, that's enough for me to start improvising something with that, I guess. See tiny differences and adjustments. Okay, so let's. Do you guys have any questions about that, or can I, jump?
I have a question actually. How do you think about things like the color temperature and stuff when you're painting this? Because I see that you use like all these beautiful, subtle nuances, and it looks so easy, but I bet it's actually really difficult.
So again, there is many things I do that I'm not really able to explain because I guess we all have things that are instinctive for us and things that are not. I work quite instinctively with that, but you will see how I work because I will go into that. But really, like on the character, for example, the way I work with that is so first of all, the adjustments right here. I did that already, but sometimes I will push the highlights and give some. Okay, let's make another demonstration. is okay. Here is a character that I did cut off. Okay. So usually what I do is that I will select an element and have it on a separated layer, and from that I can start to adjust. Just on the character a little bit. And the thing is, when you start working on an element, you see I have this layer with, I mean, that's basic Photoshop, but that's very important stuff. I have this clicked on, meaning that what I'm doing right now is applying only to the layer underneath it, okay, and not the background. So when I do that, it also opens a mask on the side, and if I start to paint in black, in the mask, it means that I can define where the mask is active and where the mask is not active. So if I start to paint in black in the mask, I can go and make sure that, you see, for example, the light, the blue light is now falling only on the top of the character.
It's easily seen that when you have very accurate values, as you have right now, you can just go around and put
Whatever.
every hue you want on the picture, right? But
Yeah.
what about when you are creating? Because I saw some of your works are more complex with with the background that you probably don't shoot in your studio.
No.
You know, like you are having some street or some cityscape as a background, and in the foreground is staying some girl. You are also you are preparing the references and painting the background first, or you are painting the character first and then try to adjust all the hues, all the lighting effects into the background. What's the process behind it?
The process is to identify my focus point. See this character, for example, this is going to be the focus point. So this is where I focused. I had the face right here and the lights right here. The background came after. For the longest time, it was just a grayish, purplish background. And here, same thing, and then it was just a matter of putting some textures in. But it depends of the focus. Yeah. You know what? Let's go there. Let's jump right in. So here is a character that, see, I adjusted the colors. And earlier, I had this picture. This was me while I was in the process. This was me trying to get some idea of where I was going with that already. So let's take it from this sketch and see what we can do, I guess.
So you are trying to implement this this character you just adjust into the sketch you have before, right?
Yes, because this is a free session. Because I don't have a client telling me, "Hey, do that."
Yeah, of course.
So because when I have like Applibot asking me for a specific character, well, then it gets definitely really specific, and so I have no. I mean, of course I have a lot of freedom working with them. They are really open to personal interpretations, but I still have to meet what they ask me, So, but with that, I can go, and just be like, okay, what am I going to do? So I don't know what I do first, and honestly, this is the longest. One of the longest process is that I will take a brush, and I will start to build the character as, building space. And see where I go with that. So first of all, as I was explaining earlier, I'm quite bad at talking and painting at the same time. You know, I work 7 days a week, 24, not 24. I work like 10 hours a day.
You don't sleep?
I'm going to die tomorrow, but I painted a lot. No, yeah, I work a lot. So, but I work alone with my music and with my own process all the time, and I'm really not used to be like, you know, talking about the weather meanwhile. So even honestly, even painting without music, for example, is painful to me.
Yeah, I have the same. It's like quite impossible just staying, you know, sitting in quiet silence, especially when you're, you know, sitting alone in your room or studio. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that's totally opposite of one of the guests we had. It was Anthony Jones. He was just crazy. He was talking and painting at the same time, and the quality and quantity of both was crazy.
Yeah, but some people can do that. I mean, I wish. I guess, you know, that's what we call being really able to multitask, I guess.
Yeah, and I think, you know, this is just another thing you can practice, and you can get better.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, but yeah, better at talking and working at the same time. I could, but you know, I'm not sure I'm going to make several level up sessions in my life. So
yeah.
So right now I'm looking, you know, I'm doing some really basic stuff. Again, as I said, I'm organizing the space, and so.
So in this stage, you could just adjust the lighting on the scene to the model that you have already painted, right?
Mm-hmm. I will start to work with the lighting a little bit, but I guess later. Right now, my steps right now is to define the way I'm going to occupy the space.
Right. Cool.
That's what I'm doing. So the first thing I see is that I have my characters right here. I think the character is standing at the right position. You know, composition-wise, we will have right here. Like if I start even, you know, having fun with a line of third or things like that, the character is basically happening where it should be happening in a classic way. And now I'm referring to what really I would call the basic of fine art production, or even digital art, of course. The place where you apply the values, and basically if I want the character to pop out a lot, I should not, you know, be applying a character with a white background on the top and a black, so it's lagging, but the picture is really, really big. So, well, really big enough to. Okay, I'm going to change the brush. I hate this new Photoshop stuff. Okay, so if I start to apply values like black behind black and light behind light, of course I'm going to screw up everything. So I'm starting to process with like values that are going to be interesting, so we can really see the silhouette.
It will pop out, right?
Yeah, completely. And so right now I'm thinking about some, you know, a little bit of foggy atmosphere. I don't know. Don't really know where we are going yet. At all. So, and this this can take hours for me. Just getting things right, and that's really why I wanted to start with anatomy already and started with that, because I know how long all this process can be. My work is really gravitating toward pre-Raphaelite artwork, and I really love to play with the 2D, 3D aspect of what I'm doing. Having some kind of 2D compositions, but still implying three-dimensional stuff. And see, I'm going to get lost in between, like with all my layers and everything. Again, I do that all the time. So I'm building around the character. I'm blocking the composition. That's what I'm doing. And this is not always a success. See, earlier I was starting to paint her hair like that, so why not doing something like that, something that fall with a flow of air. Okay, let's go for a flow of air going down like that. That would be fun.
Nice.
But yeah, again, you see how bad it looks, and it will look bad for a long time. My work always looks bad until it looks okay.
So you just a very patient guy.
Yep. Yeah, but that's what it is. I also see like
it's
so many...
but it's definitely worth it. So.
And I see so many people that actually they're on their way to make something cool. I see that in class with my students. They're on their way to do something cool, but it's not cool quick enough. So they give up and they switch to something else. And then it's not quick enough again, so they start to do something else. And finally, they don't achieve anything because there is this tendency, I guess, for people to expect things to look awesome in less than 10 minutes. This is very true. Again, this can be very true, I guess, for concept artists, because it has to be quick. You need to be able to block your stuff super fast. With illustration, I don't. You know, this is bad what I'm doing right now.
So
with illustration, you really care.
While you are teaching in your class, are you taking up the subjects like environment stuff or characters only, or because
no,
I mean I think that your students has also different expertise, right? Because everyone is different. So
in my class, I talk about everything,
cool.
And we do some concept art. I make them do some speed painting. Because I mean, I can. I just do it. And I'm absolutely not a professional speed painter. You know, I mean, there is no professional speed painter. That's my way of saying it. But I can work quick. I can. It's just not the way I am, I guess. But yeah, with my students, I'm making sure that they leave my classes with a good knowledge on everything that is fundamental to work in the video game industry.
Nice.
And the thing is, also, I do that a lot. I'm also someone who is very conscious of my own weakness. You know, I'm never going to pretend that I can do everything. And so the things that I cannot do, I'm quite straightforward with that. It's like, okay, guys, let me show you how to do that. But the thing is, I don't know how to do it. So everybody goes and connect on, you know, Level Up, for example, and watch this tutorial with this guy who knows exactly how to do that shit. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a matter, you know, it's really important to not, in that field, to not be pretentious, to not be all over the place. Again, I do characters a lot. I love to do illustration. I build pictures and it takes me a long time. Also, I do charcoals and I love doing charcoals. I do pencils on paper. Then ask me to do a super fast concept design. Sorry, I forget to paint. I'm talking. Super fast concept design or character design. Well, I can, but I will be slow and you know, it just, yeah. Finally, it's not the same job. we do the same thing, but it's not the same job.
Mm-hmm.
I do book covers. I do magic cards. I do cards for Applibot. I do a lot of things that basically they are finished visual. So I'm sure you guys talked about that a lot too. They are supposed to look sharp, finished, perfect. They look finished. When you work in concept art and video game, actually the beauty of those kind of artworks is that they are not finished. So they are full of energy, they are quick, they are, I don't know if I can say bright, but they are like, yeah, there is this energy because they have been done fast and they serve a purpose, but they are not the final product. You don't put a concept art on the cover of a video game, for example.
Yeah.
So again, that's just different kind of job. And I wish, you know, it's like everything else. I wish I was a great speed painter, and I wish I was a great character designer, for example. You always look at what you don't know how to do as well. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that's how I feel. Everything I don't know how to do, I just love to do it. Okay, I think right now, just by doing that, I think I blocked a basic composition that I like. My point with that is that I organize my space, and I have some kind of, I guess, some kind of composition dynamic. You know, things that will flow. We even have a staircase and another staircase. So I think I kind of blocked the flow in the painting. The only thing that bothers me now is I also left a lot of empty space. So what to do with that, I don't know. Like, as usually, some crows. Here is one crow, or we could have a cat. So I don't know, but I think I can start building stuff around here, some stuff flying back there. Why not later, perhaps some kind of mechanical arm with a finger pointing and a butterfly on the finger, you know? And starting to build something like that, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know, we'll see. Right now I'm going to stick with the character a little bit like that. I'm thinking I love to keep the faces of my characters. That's another topic. I don't know if it is interesting for you guys, but that's part of my symbolic system. I love working with models that have some really specific facial features and that they have their own personalities. And I kind of love to break that and try to see where the limit is. You see, just by, like, right now I distracted half of the face, but I think I'm actually going to go to shoot for something like that. Some kind of helmet, or I don't know. Okay. And so you see right now I'm starting to question the body, perhaps. Let me know if you have questions and stuff, because if I get into my stuff, I can just disappear. So.
No worries, I'm just looking up into questions, but I don't see any specific ones.
See, right now we are talking about the light. I'm starting to apply the light on the character a little bit. So what I do is that I duplicate this layer and put it on basic multiply stuff. And then I'm erasing in the multiply to see where I keep the light and where I don't. Kind of.
Yeah, it looks much more consistent into the lighting on the scene right now.
Yeah, and the thing is, even later in the flow, I will probably start to paint, but that will be in the finish part, and we are far away from that. But when finally I finish, I start to paint like that and just mix stuff, but not for now. I try to keep the character as it is for the longest part. I'm lost. Okay. So that there is still this spot that has no reason to be here. Here. And one of the things that I know people keep asking about in my work is the golden part. That's something I keep having questions about that stuff.
The gold rendering tutorial you did recently? Yeah.
What?
I have seen the tutorial you did on gold rendering recently. It was just an image, right?
Yeah.
Or just a status, I don't remember. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, the tutorial was just, it was just an image that I published with like three little notes on the side just to say, hey, do that this way and this way. And so, still probably 20 hours of work on that, and and it will be ready.
So you're outlining every item or the things you want to incorporate this scene, and then just spend a lot of hours of rendering it.
Yeah, basically, I know that what is coming after I do all that, I am going to start going nuts with photograph and textures and everything. So right now, as you can tell, I don't even bother painting well. I just don't care. So yeah, this is me working because I know what's coming next.
Are you also flipping the canvas horizontally sometimes, or you just stay or stick to the first look?
Well, the thing is, you see how long it takes for me to flip the canvas when I work on high resolution. I have the brand new iMac and stuff, but still when I work big, it just, well, no, that's not the reason why. I don't flip the canvas that much because
you don't feel that you need, right?
I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I probably need to. And I probably should.
Right.
I probably should do that. But I don't because I don't know about that. That's a really good question because I have the feeling that people will be looking at my picture one way and not the other. You know, like what you see in front of you is what is going to be printed. So of course it's a really great thing. I mean, I always, even when I do a drawing, I always look at it with a mirror to see the other angle. But I used to do that all the time, flipping the canvas, and I kind of stopped. I did not flip the canvas for a long time.
Yeah, so through all the sessions of Level Up, we can see how many people, how much we are, different. For instance, me, I'm just flipping the canvas like 10 or 20 times per minute, so sometimes it's just...
And it becomes compulsive sometimes. You don't even do it for a reason anymore. You just start spazzing out on the...
That's funny. That's funny. Well, I guess, this works.
When I stop, when my computer just, starting to have problems and, loading the canvas, oh, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. So, yeah. But it definitely helps somehow. So.
Yeah. So.
There is a guy who keeps the canvas and there is a guy who don't.
Yeah. But I think maybe if you have enough experience, then after a while you don't need it anymore. You just see it.
Yeah, but I think it's also a matter of personality. Yeah.
I just compose the things the way I want them to look. I don't know. And honestly, if I flip the canvas again, what do you think? Like, does it work or does it not work? I don't know. To me, it does not work like that.
I just learned that when you flip, no matter what side you just flip horizontally, and it looks the same, good from both sides. Sometimes there are some principles of it, but if this looks like good from both sides, it's definitely a good composition. I just learned it, so I don't know if you think that if it's working for one side, it's of course as well good. I think it's the matter of the taste.
Because for me, it works like that, but it does not work when I flip it. So I just,
Yeah.
It just never really worked for me. I used to do it. I was doing it all the time at first because I thought this had to be, I thought I had to do it. But finally, not really.
Yeah.
So what happened right now is that I have a big mess in front of me, and I'm going to have to clean that up a lot. So, so let's start, I guess.
Start once again.
Start the clock.
So, again, if I am myself working on a picture and doing all that, it will take me so long, and I'm just thinking, okay, where should I start to actually make something interesting to see? I'm just okay. I need 20 hours on that. So I'm telling you, what you see right now, I'm going to finish it completely later, probably, because I like the picture. And it will be funny to see the difference. So, see all those, I'm going to merge all those layers. Oops. Merge that one. Okay, because I'm trying to see right now, I'm trying to measure what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to keep clean and what I'm not going to keep. Foreground separated, of course, because I want to be able to get rid of that. That works. Okay.
So are you thinking about simplifying the PSD or something?
Yeah, I'm just, you see, I'm going to take all that, for example, and erase that. I'm going to, that's what I'm doing. I'm just making sure that.
Okay. I feel like sometimes having too many layers limits my freedom in painting, and I try to collapse to a minimum.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing right now. It's like, if I put everything on, here is where we are going, but I'm going to keep background like that, character, dress, the hair, because I'm going to do it better than that. I'm going to paint it better, so here we are, some fog, foreground, and also details that are going to come later. What I do is that I always duplicate the things that are essential in case I screw it up, because I'm totally able to do that. So basically what is essential right now, where there is a lot of work, is the character. So I'm duplicating the character, putting back there with a red light. Don't touch that. Thank you. Okay. I guess I'm going to start from the character, and we will go background and stuff later. So I am going to start importing stuff. Like here I have a set of photographic stuff that I use all the time and that I know I can rely on. If I start to work on mechanical guys and robots and stuff, I have a collection of products. Those are great to create mechanical textures. Most of the time I take my own photos, of course. But sometimes, like for this kind of stuff, if I'm going to keep just that, no one is going to complain if I, of course, steal some. I assume you guys talked about that a lot already. Okay, that is cool. I have this one that I use a lot. It's like pre-painted and stuff, and it's something that I use a lot of things like that to save some time, because as I say, it takes so long for me to work on those pictures that when I bother, you see, for example, I have chains that are pre-painted. I don't have them here, but I have a set of chains. Let me find that.
Yeah, so basically for things that you do a lot, you just make something you know you don't need anyway.
Yeah. In fact, I will do things on a separated layer, so I save them. I'm just looking for my chains and I don't know where they are. Just wait a second. I don't know where I did put my chains. Here we are. So this is just all the chains that I bothered like cutting and then changing the orientation and the angle and everything, so I can use it. Basically, I know exactly which one I will need later, and I just have to select it, copy it, and it's ready to use now. But I mean, for many things in my work, it took me just a long time to build all those sets of stuff that I'm going to use later. But I'm making sure, nowadays, I'm making sure that I never throw anything away. So I can always just go back and use the stuff. So am I going to be able to use that or not? A lot of those techniques are really like trying, see if it works great, if it does not work, something else. Fuck you, Photoshop. I argue with Photoshop a lot. So this is going to piss everybody off when I do this kind of stuff. Usually when I do that in class, my students are like, what? But I thought you were painting it. Yes, I did paint this dress before. No, but I mean, that's a field, that's something that a lot of students or stuff like that don't really understand. It's the fact that if you don't do that, you're screwed. At least for me. I mean, I could go and paint it, of course, but it's just a matter of knowing. Okay, I know what am I doing. I know that I need to save those things in advance because sometimes I have in the same week 5 book covers to make, and so I need to be able to focus on. I need to be able to focus on what is really important: the story, the composition, the photo shoot with the right model, painting the anatomy, building everything. So anytime I can save just a little tiny bit of energy by using stuff that I did before, I'm not going to have an issue with that.
So are you sometimes worried about if it's going to work? Like, for example, that dress, if the if the creases are going to match the body, or if your chains will match the perspective, or do you use those kind of things in your advantage to be more like a part of your style?
I am not worried about that because I am going to make it work. That's the thing. It's my job to make it work. So
force it.
Yeah, you will pass. You shall pass my ass. You will see. So, you see, and now I'm going to start painting over it again. No, I'm not just going to drop it in and. But I also know that.
Yeah, it's something like I tried it a lot as well when I use photo text, but sometimes I find that I have to start from something that's more like correct right off the bat instead of sort of forcing it into direction. I find it, for me, it's very hard to do that sometimes.
Yeah, well, and that's why I start to rely on the painting stuff, is that I know that, well, okay, my logic is I am going to use that because it will save some time. And if I see that it does not work, then, well, fuck it, I'm painting it, you know. So obviously we have some fog in front of it that is not looking good right now. This is looking better already. Okay, and this foggy stuff is making everything grayish, so I don't like that, so that can go away. Alright, and so here we are with that dress. Is it looking great yet? Not really. Will it look great later? I don't know. We'll try. I see these things as some kind of fight, honestly, sometimes. It's like, yeah, it's not looking perfect, but, you know, we'll go somewhere. Some belts, perhaps, we'll see. I'm not going to use chains in that. And let's use it again. Or not. Right now I'm starting to see if there will be some angles that will look better. Can you still hear me?
What?
Yeah, you still can hear me? I thought it was...
Yeah, we can hear you, yeah. So again, guys, if you have any questions regarding the process... Okay, you got some questions?
Yeah, I guess we're like a boom in tons of questions.
Okay, so Bastien, which tablet are you using?
What software am I using?
What tablet?
Oh,
I heard.
I work with I think now today it's called Intuos Pro. Yeah, that's what I use, the Intuos Pro. I don't like working with Cintiq. Um, because because my hand gets in the way.
Is it a big or medium size?
Super large.
Okay.
I'm not sure the tablet is actually called super large. I think
it's large, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. See that? I like the flow in it. I like that. I validate. I don't like the colors. So here we are. I don't like the colors in that completely. So I'm going to start messing with the color of the dress. What am I doing? Perfect. No. Yes, I make also.
It's a lot of adjusting stuff, right?
What?
A lot of adjusting all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really looks like you have a really organic workflow. Like you change things as you go. You didn't have a predefined sketch from the beginning. It's like from what you are showing us right now, it's a really dynamic process that, and you allow yourself for a lot of freedom early on and even later, like we see right now.
If I don't do that, I get bored.
Excuse me again?
If I don't do that, I get bored. I get tired of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like keeping yourself entertained by a freedom you actually gain through painting. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you think it comes from? Do you think there is like a specific source for that type of workflow, like specific influence that got you that kind of, because I know a lot of artists is really tight workflow, whereas here you are showing us a really kind of, a free approach. So do you think that there was a specific thing that, yeah, go ahead.
It comes from like my love for artists like Dave McKean, for example. It comes from my complete admiration for artists that do not care. I don't know how to say that without saying a big bullshit. They care more about just doing it and experimenting and more than making it look just right or as other make it look or whatever.
So just artists with a really strong voice and really strong.
Yes, like actually like really strong style and I love to be able to see that they are having fun in their process. That's what is exciting to me. And so I'm trying to do the same. I'm trying to. Sometime I will, just go online and download some random picture and drop them on it and see where it goes. I do that all the time actually. See. I do this kind of stuff all the time. Doing that, putting it on soft light, for example, and see where it goes. And start to see completely randomly. See, I like that. I could use that for...
Yeah, tattoo pattern, yeah, or something, yeah.
Yeah.
See, here we are. That's really that's how I work. Basically.
Yeah.
Just dropping stuff in and seeing how it works. And of course, it's not just about putting pictures in your picture. It's more about having the right eye, I guess. Seeing where it works, where it does not,
Mm-hmm.
And because of the thing, like these techniques, again, I have got a lot of critics about that. But the thing is, as soon as I tell someone, okay, so do it then, suddenly people realize it's really not that easy at all. And this is this is a big deal because, again, I have been like fighting for my right to, fighting for my right, as if I have been, victim of anything.
To party.
It's just my, I always had to explain what I was doing and why, no, it's not that easy, and explaining that photograph and use of random elements in your work are not making it more easy. It just, to me, it just gives me more options, and it helps me do things differently. See, I just imported something, and I'm going to start painting around it and see where it goes, or not, just not taking it. I don't know. And so this way, again, I'm surprising myself, and I'm not bored. I'm having fun. At the end, when I finish a picture, most of the time, I'm like, whoa, I was not expecting that. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a really bad way. It's like, oh, shit, did I do that? I had a better opinion of myself before. So the thing is, right now, I'm not really worried too much about, again, lights and things like that, because I'm going to go back to it later. But that's more like at the end of the process. I'm usually taking a nice brush, and I'm at the end, but again, we will go to that later. I will put like some overlay stuff and some light, and I will start, blasting some light in my picture, or some shadow, wherever I want. But this comes later, the way I will balance all that. It kind of comes at the end.
Yeah, so now you're just kind of looking for some interesting textural detail that you can paint over later.
Yes. And you see the dress is here. It's not done at all, but it's here. So, oh, and here is something. Here is one stuff that I use all the time. This is a modified, something that I found online. I'm going to mess around with it as well. Same thing if you, because sometimes I can also go a little bit too fast in what I'm doing, so I'm afraid it's not going to show anything. See, right now I have this layer on overlay, and I'm painting underneath it, so in between the picture and the layer itself. So basically I can reveal or hide some part of this texture that I'm using, and I'm going to start to erase what I don't need. And so I'm working too fast. I usually don't. I usually take more time, so I usually get sharper in what I'm doing. Okay, right now I'm a little bit messy, I guess. And then from that, I will copy stuff and create some repetitive shapes. And start to erase in it again, and keep only what I want. I guess, I guess you guys do that a lot in like concept art as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or environment.
Yeah, repeating shapes to create new patterns is a very nice technique.
Mm-hmm.
Because you go away from the original, you create something new with the photo, and it's got structure.
Okay, so this finally is going to disappear. See, I'm starting to get lost. So when I get lost, it means that I need to like slow down and reorganize stuff a little bit.
So regarding the textures and references you gather, you show how important it is to get everything quite, maybe not always, but partly prepared, so you can use it for later in other works, as you have some details in your reference that you can use in each work, and you can just manipulate it in different ways to just convey something in different way anytime, but using the same material. So
yeah, that's the thing. It's like anything that I keep, I'm never going to just copy and paste it in my picture, and that
exactly.
that would be boring for me, and that would be boring for others. Looking at my picture, it would be he's using the same thing again and again. So there is no reason to do that, actually.
Yeah.
What I painted before, you see that? I painted that before, I'm going to get rid of that, finally, because now I covered it with some texture that is just enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm selfish. The only thing that I really care about is, am I happy in my life? So
yeah.
Then I am, okay, the reason why I'm saying that is, if I care about me being happy with what I do, this job is a really hard job. It's working all the time. Yes, I work from home, but it means that I'm always available for like new clients, new things that I just don't have time for me at all. So I must enjoy what I do. Like that's my job, and to enjoy what I do, I need to have fun, and to have fun, I need to surprise myself. So if I was starting to just take something and repeat it all over the place, or not give any kind of variation, then I'm just becoming a boring artist for people and for me, and that's not going to happen. At least I'm going to try not to.
Yeah, it's like it's really cool what you said. It's like you had to have fun just to continue what you are doing, and to do it in the right way. Because if you are doing it, it's our passion. But if you are doing it all the time, it can sometimes bore you. But if you are having all the time fun, it's good for for your creativity and the overall results of the works, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you deal sometimes if you maybe have some worse days when you're not inclined to work, or you just
like
don't?
Today, you mean?
Right.
So for example, for today, me and Darek, we missed the connection. We did not understand each other, and finally I woke up 45 minutes before I had to get online. Okay.
I just woke you up, right?
Hey
man, level up time.
In fact, I checked my phone and I was, oh cool, I still have 2 hours and stuff. I checked because I worked all night before.
Mm-hmm.
And I check my phone and I see a post on Facebook by Darek saying, hey, online in 30 minutes. And I'm like, well, let's do that shit then. But usually, to answer your question.
Pajama, right? You were still in pajama.
Yeah, of course. Right now I'm in my robe with my morning whiskey and yeah. When we...
That's a level up uniform.
No, I drink water and you were asking me if there was, how do I deal with like the good days and the bad days.
Yeah.
In fact, I need 3 or 4 hours of warm up. Okay, so right now, what I'm doing right now in front of you, it's kind of my warm up actually. I need warm up. You know, it's the same thing than you show up to a live model, a live drawing model session. The first 2, 3, 4, 5 drawings you are going to do are not going to be as good as the one you are going to do when you like get into it later after 2 hours, for example. So yes, it needs a warm up, but I found out that when you warm up right, there is no bad days.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't have that many bad days. I'm doing something.
That's good. That's good.
There is no. I don't think there is a choice. You know, when it's your job. If you work at the factory, you don't show up at 8 in the morning saying, I'm not really feeling it today, guys. I'm not going to work. You know, I'm going to work, but not well. You know, there is no days like that. You can't allow yourself that, and it's not because you are an artist that you can suddenly decide, today I'm going to do something else because I don't feel it. If I do that, I'm late on my deadlines and I'm fucking myself up, basically. So no bad days. That's it. That's not allowed.
You have to be there, do the work.
You will start again.
You had the robotic sound.
Yeah, okay.
Robotic sounds. All right. So if we are talking about robotic sounds, Darek, can you switch to my screen for a minute?
Yep.
Yeah. So we have received a lot of complaints about audio quality and of our stream, and a lot of issues during the sessions. Yeah, we all know about it. And from the beginning, Level Up was a free initiative, which means we didn't invest in it anything more than our time, which is, I think, the most valuable thing in this whole thing. And yes, we want to improve our quality, but from the beginning, Level Up wasn't an investment of money. It was investment of time. And basically, here we go. Yeah, here we go. That when it started, right? We found a really cool microphones called Blue Yeti USB microphone. It's just devoted to podcasts and stuff. And we almost reached the goal to buy 3 of us. So basically, if you can help us get this happen and many more, we have a website really coming, not soon, but sooner, a little bit later than soon. Yeah, we have a lot of plans, a lot of stuff that we want to do, and if you enjoy what we are doing, there's a section on our Illustrator page down here, tiny button. See, it's not about money. You have to click here, and you can help us by donating by PayPal, and you will be added to the awesome list of people that are helping us. So yeah, go ahead and donate if you enjoy what we are doing. Even a small amount will do. A lot of people are watching us, from what I know. So we'll be buying those microphones really shortly. So don't worry about audio quality; it will improve. So that's my input.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing I wanted to talk about this book I found recently. Have we talked about it? Do you guys know about it?
I think we talked about it. We talked about it.
Okay, so yeah, I'm looping myself then. No worries then. It's a great book though. All right, back.
No, just go ahead with your talk, man. It's like. It's
because I see Bastien having that really kind of Frankenstein approach in terms of he combines his drawing skills, he combines his photo shoot, his photos from shoots with models, he combines his skills from many different fields, right? And many many of people that are not familiar with art would call stealing. I have the approach with that as well. A lot of that when I use photos in my own work. And when I found about this book, it really, I stopped blaming myself. And it's really great because it takes out this really complex topics into simple drawings with really great thoughts. And it's really simple, not that much to read, more to look at. And it's really great because so
yeah. So maybe Wojtek, yeah, let's put it into the event page. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So going back to Bastien.
Okay. Meanwhile, I imported some Caterpillar builders into my picture, so it's right here. And I was just, playing around with that, not knowing where it's going, but I like those lines. I don't know what I'm doing again. So I'm just having fun with that, and I'm going to probably build on that a little bit more. So this was the initial, okay. See, I like that shape that we have right here on the top, so I'm going to push that a little bit. Oops. Go back to your place. Those machines are awful, they always try to jump on your picture. Can you still hear me all right? Okay, does that work for you guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because sometimes I hear you, sometimes I don't, so I'm just... Okay.
We're just watching you, man.
And right now I'm back into the... In fact, I did start to put some details in, okay? Like this is going to be a belt, we have like the beginning of a head building, and now I'm back into the overall picture again, trying to see, now that I did put some details where I wanted them, I'm starting to paint really lightly, but starting to define more shapes, the hair, for example, try to give a flow, because I have we have the dress right here, but I thought I wanted to have the hair going over, and so we are going to do that. I don't know, I'm always thinking a little bit about what is around this character. Is there some wind that will make like the hair flying this way perhaps, or stuff like that? I don't know. Same thing, this is things that you do all the time when you work with concept art. You need to like define the direction of the wind, the direction, so if you have winds, it will give the direction to the clouds, and this will create the great atmosphere. And I'm always trying to keep that in mind in my work. See some painting job right now, I could totally go and just import a haircut from, I don't know, some random actress or whatever that I find online. But I'm not going to do that because first I want to create my own flow. Then I can perhaps texture the hair a little bit later, but... Okay, and that I still don't know what it's going to be. I really could put a cat here. Cats are usually what makes your picture, makes your picture turn into a complete disaster to a massive success online. I thought about the next trailer for my next graphic novel will probably be
with girls and the cats?
It's probably naked nude girls with a cat, yes. Very, very important. Okay, so here we are. There is things that I'm missing right now. I'm going back to my original layout, and I really loved the fact that the dress was going just totally vertical. Better than that. So this is going to disappear. And you see, earlier I was talking about choices that you make. Here is one. So I spent like a few minutes designing the dress, but finally the dress will completely change into something. I just copied everything like that. And I'm going to give some verticality to that. Oops. Okay, I really prefer that. It makes her look like stable, like a statue, like a column. I don't know. I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you've got different flows that are now breaking each other. I think it works nicer than if everything goes in the same flow.
Yeah, because on the top of that I have those that are already
and the hair.
And the hair, so this needs to contrast. Yeah.
Much more subtle and
Yep, definitely.
equal.
That's a good example.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's interesting about your process that you can see that you try to control the big flows in the painting as much as you can with painting, and the photo texture is just basically to noise up the areas where you don't want to spend, you know, hours and hours doing brush strokes, just to add some like small frequency. So it's just like high frequency stuff is from photos and low frequency stuff is painted mostly.
You just in fact, you know, the white page, the fact that it just helps me giving the impulse, I guess, just by dropping something in there. It gives me the impulse, and then I can build from that, and that's how I do it. Like, because you see, this right now has nothing to do with the original dress that I imported finally, but it just gives me some materials to start working with, I guess.
I just a little bit off topic here. I just want to say to the people, if anyone's watching who was at the workshop last week, because I've got a lot of messages from people asking if all our lectures and stuff were recorded, and most of them were, either from the computer or via camera. So these will probably be available in, I don't know when actually, but soon, I guess. In the near future. Yeah, for $100. No, probably for free.
Yeah, man, I was talking with you before, and I know how much work you put into that lecture. I bet all of the instructors, put a lot of
Yeah, I had a lot of
into it.
headaches.
Of course, man. You were freaking. Yeah, but it went great, right?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it was such an amazing experience. I've never had the chance to meet so many people from the group in real life, and it's kind of funny because the first day I arrived, I was just like, oh no, a room full of strangers. I don't like this. But then, 3 days later, there was a room full of friends, mostly,
Yeah.
and everyone dancing together. And they started this group on Facebook with the aftermath photos, but just doing making funny memes out of it. It's been pretty awesome. Every day there's some ridiculous new stuff popping up there that proves what kind of idiots we are.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. I have too much stuff going on again.
We are getting close to our 2 hours tag. So, Bastien, I will let you decide if you want to go on with the demo or you want to wrap it up and finish the image later. It's up to you. We have time. We're really happy that you are putting, a lot of time into it right after you woke up. So.
I don't know. I think I can keep going a little bit if you guys want me to.
Yeah, sure.
Right now, to me, right now, it is a time where, in my mind, I was going to start. So it does not. If you're up for it, I can push further a little bit. Yeah, you can do that. If there is questions, I can answer it. I still have time. I don't know how long, but I still have time.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man. Yeah.
Okay. And again, because I'm slow, it's just going to.
Don't worry.
No. I just had to ask because every.
Yeah, we're just trying to stick to 2 hours every session. So.
Yeah, we're trying to stick to hours because a lot of artists has its own time constraints, but for free, it's great.
Well, I do, but the thing is, I made sure that I was available today for that. So.
Yeah, and you thought it was an hour and a half later, so you still have at least 1 hour and a half.
Exactly. I just had to wake up earlier. That's it.
Yeah, we will have on mind doing a session with you, like 1 week session with Bastien.
You just stay online. People can
look.
It's
only breaks for sleep and eating time, man.
Yeah, let's do, this might actually hurt my my workload, but yeah. See, one thing that I usually do right now, things start to be a little bit more stable. I have more elements into it. Nothing looks finished yet, but I will get there again next week probably. One thing that I like to do, I don't even know if it's necessary because things look kind of good for me, but for now, I usually go into it and start to play with adjusting the colors already a little bit and decide if I'm going to go for something, I don't know, just adjusting things slightly to get the colors that I already want. See, to me, that's a little difference, but that makes a complete total difference. And I'm going to stick with that. Yes, okay. I think I'm going to do something a little bit unusual. No, I'm not going to do that. I was going to merge everything down right now and go a little bit. But I'm not going to do that. Because I know I will need some elements to go back to later.
It's tempting, isn't it? I always have to resist that temptation.
Yeah. It's like, okay, is it time for me to merge everything, or is it just too early? Will I have to go back or not? See, one thing that I see right now is the way I did cut the figure from my original painting. I will probably start to work on that before I just starting to erase that. So again, the brushes I'm using right now, there is many of those that will be in the set that I'm going to share. I will put it on my DeviantArt account, I guess. It makes it easy to download. It's a set that Adobe required me to create. So I was actually really happy to do that. And you know what? I'm even going to keep this light a little bit. Okay. So yes, they asked me to create like a painting set, and it's a little set with the one I'm using is not little at all, but the set that I'm going to upload on DeviantArt is a little one with a lot of useful brushes, I guess, and a few of them are smudge tools that are actually quite fun to use. For example, stuff like that one. So I created this like brush that is, I don't know, it's just some kind of weird spiral. But when you use it with a smudge tool, okay, let's zoom in so you see better what I'm doing.
We can see that people are very active in the chat on YouTube. But maybe it's a good time to ask a usual level up question to our guest. So Bastien, if you had a chance to choose, would you rather be billionaire or Godzilla? And if you can say why.
Would I rather be what?
Billionaire or Godzilla?
He's just thinking like, what?
He thought we are drunk, right?
Here is what I understood, and that's probably not, or perhaps that's it. Was it billionaire?
Yeah, billionaire, yeah. Billionaire or Godzilla?
Or Godzilla?
Yeah. What would you choose if you had a chance to be?
You want the okay, if I want to sound cool right now, I'm going to say Godzilla, you know. But definitely billionaire.
All right.
I really don't care about being huge, green with big teeth. But having a fucking shit ton amount of money to help me with my projects and go through life and publish my own books and all those stuff, yes, I will definitely take that.
All right.
I will use well, though, the money.
All right, sounds logical. Thanks, man.
Yeah, it is political because I think that's one of the big deals. It's the way we spend that is an issue, not the fact that
of course.
the money itself. It's the way we spend it. So yeah, but let's not go there, you know. And if anybody wants to talk politics, I'm available on Facebook, so this way I can block you if I disagree. So yes, what am I going now? What am I going to do next? I'm going to change the color of that part a little bit. There is something I don't like with that dress, and I don't know what. I'm just too much in the brown, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let's do that, and let's go back to the original color. The brushes, it looks like I'm using a lot of brushes, and that I could get lost into it. But the way I organize my brushes, it's like in every categories, I work only with the first ones most of the time. The one following are, you know, options. And yes, I was trying to show the smudge tool for the brush set that I'm going to put online. The smudge works fine when you... This one is funny because this gives some kind of painting texture really quick. And I was quite happy when I made that one. So of course what I'm doing right now, it looks bad, but I just want you guys to see how it works. And it's also a really nice blender. So there is that. This one will be in the set, and then there is many stuff that I use. I like nice big, because when I work with like actual painting on canvas, one of my main tools will be the knife. So please keep in mind that I'm not going anywhere with what I'm doing right now. I'm showing you how it works. Okay, it's not I'm not going to do that in the painting. But this is some kind of brush that recreates the... Using the smudge, I can recreate the working with a knife feeling. And so it's actually nice to work with sometimes when you want a nice painting render. Seriously, you guys would prefer to be like Godzilla than billionaire?
Actually, well, I didn't thought about it yet. we always ask the guests, and we want to know why they choose any of it. But I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
Yeah, no one ever asks us. No one cares about what we think.
Yeah. No one cares about us.
Oh, so sad.
So one of the things I do all the time as well. In fact, because I'm not going to finish this picture, obviously, but I can show you like a bunch of little things that I do a lot. That could be, I guess, interesting or not. We'll see about that. My relationship with textures is a little bit specific. No, it's not, I guess. A lot of people do that as well, but the way I will apply texture, but the thing is, most of the time, I use the smudge into the texture. That's something I do a lot, and something that could be useful, perhaps. So basically, using the smudge into the texture makes that you can create new effects inside just using the... See, I will like finally find the spots and move it around. And okay, let's find something a little bit more obvious. I'm just dropping stuff in the picture right now. See, right now I have this texture and I'm just going to drag it around, and I like the light that is falling right here, for example. I like that, so I think it will be a matter of putting it at the right place. I'm going to switch it to black and white so it does not change my colors while I use those. And with the smudge tool, it makes it super easy to use the texture itself and move stuff that are from the inside of the texture and start playing with those. So I know I'm not painting in the picture itself, I'm painting in the texture. See? You can see it clearly on the edge. And so this is really another way to create accidents all the time. And again, like I'm pretty sure I'm really not the only professional who use this kind of stuff at all. But it's something that, I mean, if we are going to do a level up session with people craving about learning stuff like that. So that could be one of the main tricks I use all the time. See, it just, even in the face, it starts to create some stuff that I like. So, and then you can go funny and start to drop completely random. Again, that's why I purposely downloaded the stuff before. Like really dropping some stuff in your pictures that have nothing to do with your picture. And that's, to me, that's where the fun comes a lot. Because you see right now, what I see is that, hey, why not going for like some pieces of clothes right here? See, so we can see like there is even people talking right now, right here. But if I start playing with that, I can get some stuff that are getting perhaps interesting. Perhaps. See, so that's a lot, that will be a lot of things to clean later in the picture itself.
Yeah, so you don't care right now at this stage.
Yeah, no, I could not care less. Just what is happening right here, for example, is interesting to me. This I will keep it perhaps not that intense, but here. And then when I keep painting, later I can go back and, you know, paint over them. But the accident, there won't be anything left of that in the picture. But this accident gave me some ideas that I'm going to use. I want to go back to that because I liked that line a lot.
Right, guys, so maybe let's deal that we'll be in here for more 10 minutes. Is it all right for you, Bastien?
Yeah, that works perfectly.
If you guys have any more questions to our guest, just feel free to post it right now. We have 10 minutes to go. And yeah, if you know it's work out for you that you could just paste the picture later onto the group or
Yes, of course.
or the event,
I
it
will
would be
finish
awesome.
that. Can you give me some time? Can you give me like a few days so I can really
Of course, man. It's really up to you. It's just whatever you do, it's a pleasure for us. So let's just stick to the last 10 minutes, and people, you have time for the questions yet. So yeah.
Yeah, there's absolutely no rush, Bastien. You can just do it whenever and post it whenever you feel ready or comfortable. People who
Exactly.
they will see it.
That will be fun. This way I can really obtain a result, a strong result, I guess, and just, yeah.
Yeah, and it will be nice for the people to see the difference between the final and the one.
Yeah, if you don't mind, just post also the today's version, if you don't mind, on the event page or your wall. And if whatever time you finish that, you can just post again. It would be awesome. So feel free to do it, man. Whatever you want.
Yeah, I will completely go this way. Right now I'm using the, you know, the typical color dodge stuff. And I'm going to start putting some light somewhere. I don't know, I really want, in fact, with this picture, I would really like to go for, I think that's the direction it is taking. I want to keep the symbolic aspect of my work, but I want to make her in some kind of, yeah, robotic Android setting. So symbolic, mystic, mechanical, I guess.
So where exactly your inspiration comes from? You are watching some documentaries or reading the books or some movies or just, you know, from your dreams, or what's the way you just get the ideas on your canvas?
Music and books. most of the time. Just again, right now when I'm doing this picture, I'm thinking about my personal graphic novel universe, and this definitely came from. Originally, it came from Blade Runner, of course, Brazil, movies. I guess something that really obsessed me completely, and I think that's part of my workflow as well. It is life and death. I'm not, my work is often dark, and people sometimes ask me why, and I'm a really positive person in life. I'm really.
Yeah, we can say it, man.
And the thing is, I think this is where my darkness goes, and but it's not only a darkness like a. It's a real fear of death, I think, and I think that's part of me trying to get familiar with it, and I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to sound like too much when I say that, but I think somehow every picture that I make, most of the time, I am painting death, and when I paint. It's my way to deal with life, finally. And I think when I paint robots, when I paint robots women, I think it's a mix of trying to paint my own desire. But when I say desire, I mean being alive, having desires. It means being alive, being awake, wanting stuff. So it's a mix between painting desires, but mixing it with the idea of death because they are robots, they are not completely alive. So I think there is a lot of things. I think I will have fun starting to look into that a little bit because I think, but that's the symbolic part of my work that I'm dealing with all the time.
So it's basically part of you, right? It's like I also got a lot of questions about my works, maybe the more previous ones. They were mostly dark, and I like to paint a very moody pictures, but they were mostly dark, and people were thinking, oh, I'm kind of the depressed guy or so. No, it's not. It's not like this. It's of course sometimes express your personality, but not maybe in that outside way, because I'm open person, and I'm kind of I think that I'm colorful or so, and but it's the way you do the dark pictures. It's like what you feel, what you really want to really, like you said, feel familiar with, and how you want to express your artistically. It's not like you're expressing your habits or behavior. It's nothing like this. So
But it's also a little bit your cultural background sometimes, I think. I can see the influence of people who live in sunny places often paint more bright.
Exactly. Yeah.
People
that is very true. I was born and raised in Brittany, like close to England, where it's raining a lot, and
I think it's also connected with our experiences from the beginnings, like the maybe not I don't know how to call it. It's like what influence on us, right? When I was very young, or like a small child, I already watched a lot of sci-fi movies or some horrors or so, and I was quite lucky to have access to it. So I think it also influenced on every of us at the beginnings, right? How do you perceive the words? How do you express your emotions and feelings later? So it's not only connected to your personality, just not to misunderstanding. People are watching your work.
I'm talking about sometime. I had a really bad car accident when I was a kid, and it's today it's not a big deal. It was years and years and years ago, and but this car accident made me realize when I was 5. I almost lost my parents. Today everybody is fine, but it made me realize that really, really early that life was a precious thing, basically. And so I keep dealing with that. I grew up knowing that one day it comes to you and you don't choose, and it just like
Yeah.
it happens. And
yeah, it's like the accident or the situation that you don't have any influence on, and can influence on yourself later. So.
And sometimes I have people starting to talk about the darkness in my artwork, and it just makes me think, well, we probably did not go through the same kind of experience in life, you know, and that's it. And I mean, no one is obliged to like what I do. I don't really.
Yeah,
it will not
exactly.
be. And the dark part of my work and of the work, if there is things to express it. I think there is no, you know, we should not worry about, oh, will people think it's too dark or whatever. It's not a...
Do it on your field. So that's the way of you know, that we immediately know it's your work, not any other. So.
Well, that's very nice to hear.
Yeah, but it's true, man. So. Yeah.
Thank you. So I think this picture is going somewhere, but I think it's a good way to pose it. I don't know what you think, but
yeah, perfect. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
I don't know if you show stuff, you know, because that was the goal. It's not just me painting; it's me trying to quickly show the way I work. So some of the stuff I would do it differently. If I was by myself, but I was trying to make sure that I jump. In fact, at many points, I did jump too early in some steps where usually I would have wait. But I really wanted to jump from a step to the other, so basically everybody can see the process. So it was kind of accelerated. So I'm going to go back by myself and start to work on every step slowly. But yeah, I hope.
Yeah, it looks, you know, it's nice to hear you and hear your experiences and see your workflow, because I already know how you work. We just met chat a few times before, so finally we had a longer talk with all the workflow. We're starting from scratch. So yeah, we are very grateful to have you this week, and feel free to post.
That was really nice to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, feel free to post that work that you did today, and whenever you do another step, we are all tuned to see it. So thanks once again, man. It was nice to have you. It was a pleasure for us. And for people who are asking about our guest, just a quick notice that we have field scheduled for next few weeks, and we of course consider all of the proposals from your side, but please be patient. We will try to grab them all. So yeah, stay tuned for more sessions, and say thank you once more to our guest Bastien. Thanks for joining, guys, and yeah, see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you next.
Bye bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.